What's up everybody, Alex here, and welcome to the Dota Underlords Best Builds of the Week, the weekly series where I show you guys top 5 meta builds to help you rank up in Dota Underlords. Now this week we're headlining with Bloodbound, Legion Commander, and Knights and Healers. Now this is a fantastic build, one of the absolute best in the meta. It really does shine with the Ogre Cap. If you get an Ogre Cap, one of the best targets for it is Luna. Otherwise, if you get a Mask of Madness and you want to put it on Luna and you don't want to put it on your Bloodseeker or anything like that, you could also put the Ogre Cap on top of Chaos Knight. It is required though, because it will complete your Bloodbound synergy unless you are forced to run someone like Bloodseeker. If you don't have the cap, you can run Bloodseeker for the entirety of the game. The problem with Bloodseeker is that it gives the Deadeye bonus. Where is it? There it is, Deadeye bonus, and that really hinders Legion Commander's ability to get the kills and to be effective. So you really don't want to run Bloodseeker in this. Run him early just so that you can maintain an early game presence. If he starts to really snowball with like a Stonehall Cloak or a Pike or something like that, you could even peel off of doing Legion Commander at all if you wish, but Legion Commander is like one of the primary carries here. Ideally, this is what the build looks like. You have your Sacrificial Warlock up front, you have your Knight's position here, she's going to have the Knight's bonus, you have your Warlock Necrophos here, as long as along with your Dazzle. You have Luna in a protected spot, she's going to be one of your primary carries as well. This is a truly fantastic build and one that is extremely oppressive in this current meta if all goes well. And for the second build of the week, we have to once again give a shout out to Heartless, Hunters, and Vigilant. Guys, this build is absolutely incredible. It is easily one of the best in the meta, if not the best in the meta, it and Voids. This is truly remarkable how it's not been patched yet, how it's not been balanced yet. It's doing way too much damage. It completely blows up almost all compositions. The corner comp makes it very effective against a lot of Knight builds because Knights have to kind of run and they get spread out. They can peel off of their Knight formation. It's a little susceptible to mages, which we'll talk about later, but overall it is absolutely fantastic. It is truly a remarkable build. Your little Anesix Archer here, you're going Enthrall Anesix here simply because it's so fantastic with all these ranged units. Lifestealer is going to come up, the Archer is going to spawn right here, they're going to engage. It should look something like this, and then you're going to have your Treant Protector healing your front line, your Pudge absolutely super tanky, you have your Abaddon with his shielding, and your Lifestealer hopefully with a Mask of Madness or another attack speed item, like a Moon Shard. Mask of Madness is almost borderline mandatory on Luna. But guys, this is a truly remarkable build and still one of the absolute best of the meta. And for the third build of the week, we're running Spirits. And I know you're looking at this and you're thinking, Alex, this is ridiculous. Honestly, ridiculous. You have so many Spirits on the board, and but that's what makes this so good. Because you can just repeatedly Delta Slam over and over and over again. You're running your 2 humans to help with the mana regeneration. But overall, what's going to happen is they're just going to keep Delta Slamming. Now, you want to have them in the corner here because what you want to do, and you want them flat, because you want to bait everyone out from the corner. Knights tend to corner comp. Everyone tends to corner comp now. Vigilants are corner comping. Now they have the range, it's a little more difficult. But what you want to do is you want to pull any opposition team into the middle here, which makes your Delta Slams more effective. One of the ways you can counter Delta Slams is by staying in the corner. Split cornering is a way to completely dodge Spirits. Most people don't do that though, but they are corner comping. So you want to be in this corner yourself and you want to bait them out into the middle so that when you Delta Slam, you can hit them with the most effectiveness. Now, in this type of build, you could benefit from someone like, like yABBgwAABhhCQgEcBUJCAg, but he's so high risk and low reward at times. I do recommend Eno. All-out attack Eno is truly fantastic. You can also go support damage dealing yABBgwAABhCQgEcBUJCAg, and he's good too because the attack rate for someone like Ember Spirit and the Storm Spirits are going to help them regenerate their mana. Void Spirits do great work as well. But overall, it's the Delta Slams that you're really after, and if you can, you're looking for like something like a Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit to really maximize his DPS potential. And the fourth build of the week is Void Hunters. Now guys, if you're in a situation where you're seeing Brawnies, or you're seeing Knights, or you're seeing, any really kind of tanky units, if you see like a Tidehunter up front, you're going to want to go Voids. And the reason for this is because Voids are going to completely melt away high HP units. If anything, this build is actually weaker against some of the other Vigilant builds, like the Heartless Vigilant I think is more effective than this one. But anytime you have like Knights or very like tanky units, this build will shred them. It'll absolutely destroy them. And part of that is because you have all these ranged units, highly effective ranged units, with a highly legitimate chance to do bonus damage. And then you have someone like Faceless Void, whose Chrono Cube's going to freeze the opposing line to let these ranged units just poke at them. If you have a Desolator on the Drow Ranger, it's going to be creating a situation where you're going to be focus firing units with the Enthrall and Essex. You're going to be blowing up guys so fast, you're going to almost always trigger the Enthrall mechanic. And this is clearly one of the top builds in the meta. You probably know this if you're playing the game because you're seeing it everywhere. The Heartless variant's a little more common because it's easier. It's easier to pull off. This one here, though, if you can get the Voids out there with this Heartless and Vigilant stuff going, this is truly a remarkable build. It's a little harder to pull off because of the Void mechanic, but once you get those guys on the board, it is truly fantastic. It is one of the best builds in this current meta. And for the final build of the week, we've got 6 mages with several very high impact magic damage dealing units. So what you've got here, first of all, we're going Hobgen. I know. Hobgen's been a kind of a thorn on my side lately, but you can't deny with 6 mages his potential damage capabilities. Either version of him, support damage dealer, high damage dealer. The one thing about Friendly Fire is it tends to get cast so late in the fight that he generally doesn't have that much of an impact on the board. He can reduce incoming damage if he survives long enough, but I really wish the cooldown of Friendly Fire was a little sooner. If he cast it like 3 seconds earlier, it would have a better impact on the board. But I digress. The thing that we really need to focus on is Tidehunter. 4,000 HP, Ravage being a massive stun that does magic damage. Disruptor, a very disruptive silence mechanic who does magic-based damage. And then you have Shadow Fiend, who does magic-based damage, and a ton of it, all of which is being amplified by the 75% mage bonus. Now, the other thing about this, you might be thinking, hey, Alex, you mentioned before that this kind of counters, Voids and Vigilance and all that stuff, and the reason for that is because of Keeper. With Keeper, what you want to do is with that amplification of damage and hopefully a Kea. If you see a Kea early game, grab it, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to cast across these corner comps very effectively. We have Crystal Maiden in the back here because she has a very far attack range, just like Keeper, much further than some of the other units, and if there's going to be Pudges, which there will be, because Pudge is part of a lot of the Heartless builds, it's Maiden that's going to get pulled. Maiden getting pulled, it doesn't hurt you as much, because basically she's there to facilitate these two alliances. If you have Keeper back here, if he gets pulled, it's game over. So this is the formation you want. Razor on the edge here because you want that damage. You also want Shadow Fiend damaging as well. In the early game, you're going to want to position them more in the center, not like that, like this. These two in the center more because of their ability and their damage causing capability. But overall, by the end of the game, you're going to be corner comped simply because you want to protect Hobgen, you want to protect your Keeper, and you want to make sure that your units are doing as much damage as you can. Thank you very much for watching, and a very special thank you to all of my wonderful subscribers. Take care, everyone, and I hope that these builds help you find success in Dota Underlords.